You see, people like to say things, sweet things, bitter things, things that make your blood boil or your heart flutter. Words, they're cheap, too cheap for the weight they carry. Anyone with a mouth can spew out promises, lies, half-truths wrapped in pretty ribbons. But actions? Those don't lie. They're the raw truth, the unfiltered reflection of a person's soul. Let me explain. And I need you to listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you might just shatter every illusion you've ever clung to. People will promise the world with their tongues, but their hands are too busy building their own castles. They'll tell you they care, but when you fall, their backs will turn quicker than the wind on a stormy night. You've heard the saying, don't trust a smiling face? Haven't you? There's wisdom in that. Smiles are masks, layers of paint covering up the cracks underneath. People will wear the brightest, kindest mask to hide the darkness festering inside them. But you've got to be sharper than their deceit. Don't let their words wrap around your heart like chains. You've got to be the one who sees through the fog, who watches what they do. It's easy to say, I love you, but it's harder to prove it when love means sacrifice. Remember this, actions have no shadows to hide behind. You think you know someone because they smile at you? Because they say they care? Nah. Words are cheap. A liar will swear on their life with the same breath they use to shatter yours. You want to survive out here? Trust what you see, not what you hear. Let me tell you a little secret about this twisted world of ours. People love to play roles. They're actors in a script they've written to manipulate you. They'll smile when they stab you in the back, cry crocodile tears when they crush your spirit. But actions are raw. They're unfiltered. You can't fake consistency. A hand that feeds you today but slaps you tomorrow, that's not love, that's control. You remember that guy who said he'd always have your back? Where is he now? Gone. And that girl who said she'd never leave? Oh, she's probably laughing with someone else. But you're here, picking up the pieces. Always picking up the pieces. Doesn't that make you wonder? If they truly cared, why would you be the one cleaning up the mess they left behind? Actions. Watch them closely. A person who says they care will show up when it matters, not just when it's convenient. They'll fight for you when the world's against you, not vanish when things get tough. If their love is conditional, it's not love. It's a transaction. Let me explain it real simple. You ever heard of wolves in sheep's clothing? That's what you've been dealing with. People wear masks to hide their real faces. They tell you what you want to hear, feed you illusions, and when they're done using you, they'll toss you aside like yesterday's trash. You ever notice how they only show up when they need something? How they're your best friend when they're desperate, But when you're the one in need, they're nowhere to be found. That's who they really are. People's actions in your darkest moments reveal their true colors. Remember that. It's the ugliest truths that shine brightest when the lights go out. You want to know the funny thing? You let them do this to you. Yeah, I said it. You let them in, gave them the keys to your soul, and now you're surprised they trashed the place? You've got to stop being so naive. Stop expecting honesty from dishonest people. Stop giving love to those who only know how to take. You're not weak for caring, but you're foolish for thinking everyone deserves it. Some people don't deserve your time, your trust, or your tears. Save those for the rare few who prove themselves worthy, not through their words, but through their actions. Take a good look around. Who's still standing beside you? Who's been there through the storms, not just the sunshine? That's your real circle. It's small, isn't it? Maybe 1, 2 people, and that's okay. Quality over quantity, kid. 1,000 fake smiles aren't worth 1 genuine hug. People are going to tell you to forgive and forget. Let bygones be bygones, right? Wrong. Forgive if you must, but don't forget. Remember who left you bleeding and who helped you heal. Keep those lessons close, because the world will keep testing you, and if you don't learn, you'll keep falling. You want power? Real power? It's not about money or control. It's about clarity, the ability to see through the lies, to read people like open books. When you stop listening to their words and start watching their actions, you become untouchable. No one can deceive you. No one can hurt you. Trust what you see. Actions don't lie. A person who cares will move mountains for you. A person who doesn't will give excuses. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. You've got a choice now. You can keep letting people walk all over you, keep falling for their tricks, or you can wake up, open your eyes, start living by what you see, not what you hear. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna lose people. But let me tell you something. Losing fake friends is a blessing, not a curse. Trust me, kid. I've been down that road. I've been lied to, betrayed, left for dead. And every time, I came back stronger, sharper, because I stopped listening to their lies and started watching their moves. It's a brutal way to live, but it's real. And in this world, real is all that matters. What's it gonna be? Keep living in their illusions or start seeing the truth? The choice is yours. Just remember, actions reveal true colors. Always have, always will. You know what your biggest problem is? You're too afraid to let go. You hold on to people like they're life rafts, even when they're the ones sinking you. You keep making excuses for them, don't you? Oh, they're just going through something. Oh, they didn't mean it. Lies. All lies. You're lying to yourself to avoid facing the truth that they don't care about you the way you care about them. You want to know what happens when you let people like that stay in your life? They drain you. They take everything you've got and leave you empty. And then, when you have nothing left to give, they disappear, like shadows when the sun comes up. You're left standing there, wondering where you went wrong. Let me save you the trouble. Your mistake was letting them in. You think people change? Let me tell you something about change. Real change is rare. People don't change because you love them. They don't change because you forgive them. They change because they hit rock bottom. Because life breaks them so badly, they have no choice but to rebuild. And even then, it's not guaranteed. So stop wasting your time hoping they'll be different. They won't. Not for you, not for anyone. Let me give you an example. Picture a snake. It sheds its skin, right? Looks fresh, new, reborn. But it's still a snake, still venomous. That's people for you. They might change their behavior, put on a new act, but underneath, same old poison. You've got to learn to see the snake for what it is, not what it pretends to be. And when you do, you've got two choices. Cut it out of your life, or keep letting it bite you. But don't come crying when the venom spreads. That's on you. You think I don't know what it's like? I've been where you are. Trusted people I shouldn't have. Believed their lies. Forgave their betrayals. And every time, they proved me wrong. Every time they showed me who they really were. It took me a while, but I learned. You can't fix people, you can't save them, and you sure as hell can't trust them until they prove themselves. Not once, not twice, every single time. You've got a good heart. That's your problem. You want to see the best in people, even when they show you their worst. But listen to me. A good heart in a cruel world is like a candle in a hurricane. It won't last unless you protect it. Guard it. And that means being ruthless with who you let in. You think being kind makes you strong? No. Kindness without boundaries makes you weak. People see your kindness and they take advantage of it. They'll use you, bleed you dry, and then toss you aside when you've got nothing left to give. Strength isn't about how much you can take. It's about how much you can protect yourself from, how much you can say no, how much you can walk away. Let me give you another example. Picture a bridge, strong, sturdy, built to carry weight. But what happens when too many people walk over it, too many trucks pass through? It cracks, it collapses. That's you. You're the bridge, carrying everyone else's weight, ignoring your own cracks. One day, you're gonna collapse. And when you do, don't expect anyone to stick around to rebuild you. They'll just find another bridge. You need to wake up. Stop being their bridge. Stop being their safety net. If they can't stand on their own, that's their problem, not yours. You're not a charity. You're not a punching bag. You're a person. And you deserve people who lift you up, not drag you down. And here's the harsh truth. Most people don't care about you. Not really. They care about what you can do for them. They care about how you make them feel, how you fit into their plans. The moment you stop being useful, you'll see their true colors. And trust me, those colors aren't pretty. You want a life lesson? Here it is. Trust actions, not words. Words are easy. Actions take effort. A friend who says they'll be there for you? Watch what they do when you need them. A lover who promises forever? See if their actions match their promises. If they don't, walk away. No excuses, no second chances. Because let me tell you something. Every second you spend on the wrong people is a second you could be spending on yourself. Building yourself up. Finding the right people. The ones who will fight for you, not against you. I know it's hard. Letting go is painful. It feels like cutting off a piece of yourself. But sometimes, it's the only way to survive. The only way to grow. Because the truth is, not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Not everyone deserves your trust, your love, your time. Take a good, hard look at the people in your life. Watch their actions. See who they really are. And if they don't match their words, if they don't prove themselves through what they do, then you know what to do. Trust what you see, not what you hear. Actions reveal true colors. Always have. Always will. You know, there's a reason people don't want you to see the truth. It's because the truth is ugly. It's raw. It exposes the lies they've built their lives on. Most people, they're terrified of being seen for who they really are. That's why they wear masks, why they spin stories and dress themselves in pretty words. But you've got a choice. You can keep pretending, keep living in their world of make-believe, or you can rip the mask off and see the monster underneath. It's not easy. It never is. Seeing people for who they really are, it'll tear you apart. You'll start questioning everything, every word they said, every promise they made. But that pain, that's the price of freedom, the cost of clarity. And trust me, it's worth it. Do you remember the first time someone lied to you? Maybe it was small, something innocent, a white lie, they called it. But it planted a seed, didn't it? That first betrayal, no matter how small, left a scar. And over time, those scars added up. One by one, they turned you into what you are now. A skeptic, a cynic. And that's a good thing. That's survival. You think it's wrong to doubt people? To question their motives? Let me tell you something. Doubt isn't weakness. It's strength. It's your instinct telling you to be careful, to protect yourself. And ignoring it, that's the real weakness. You want to know what makes people dangerous? It's not their strength, their intelligence, or even their power. It's their ability to manipulate, to make you doubt yourself while they pull the strings. And the only way to fight back is to stop playing their game. Stop believing their lies. Stop letting their words control you. Take this as a rule. Actions don't lie. A person who truly cares about you will show it, not just say it. They'll prove it every day, not just when it's convenient. And if they don't, cut them off. No hesitation, no regrets. Because holding on to toxic people, it's like drinking poison and expecting them to die. It doesn't work. It never will. I get it. You want to believe in people. You want to think they're good, that they care, that they mean what they say. But the truth is, most people only care about themselves. And when it comes down to it, they'll choose their own comfort over your well-being every time. That's just human nature. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Stop waiting for them to change. They won't. They'll keep using you, keep taking from you until there's nothing left. And then they'll leave, and you'll be standing there wondering why you weren't enough. But it's not about you. It never was. It's about them, their greed, their selfishness, their inability to appreciate what they have. You know what the real tragedy is? You've got a heart bigger than most. You care more, you give more, you love more. And that's why they target you. They see your kindness as weakness, your generosity as an opportunity. But it's not weakness, it's strength. And if you learn to protect it, no one will be able to touch you. You don't have to stop caring. You don't have to stop loving. But you do have to be smarter about who you give those things to. Not everyone deserves your heart. Not everyone deserves your time. And the ones who do, they'll prove it. Not with words, but with actions. Every single time. You think you owe people something? You don't. You owe it to yourself to protect your peace, your happiness, your life. You don't owe anyone explanations, excuses, or second chances. If someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Don't wait for them to hurt you again. Don't let them back in. And if they call you cold, if they say you've changed, good, let them. Because you're not here to please anyone. You're not here to be their doormat, their punching bag, their safety net. You're here to live, to thrive. And if that means cutting people off, so be it. You know what they say. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, I don't believe in shame. Not anymore. You don't owe anyone your trust. Trust is earned, not given. And if someone doesn't earn it, they don't deserve it. It's that simple. But here's the kicker. When you start living like this, when you start putting yourself first, people are gonna hate it. They're gonna call you selfish, arrogant, heartless. Let them. Their opinion doesn't matter. Their words don't matter. Only their actions do. And if their actions don't match their words, you already know what to do. This world is full of liars, manipulators, and users. But it's also full of warriors, survivors, and fighters. And you're one of the fighters. You've been through hell and back, and you're still standing. That's not weakness, that's strength. And as long as you keep trusting what you see, not what you hear, you'll keep surviving. You'll keep winning. Remember this: actions reveal true colors. Always have, always will. Trust what you see, and never, ever let anyone take that away from you. You're probably sitting there thinking, but what if I'm wrong about them? What if I'm being too harsh? Let me tell you something, kid. Second chances, they're a luxury, a rare, precious thing that only a handful of people deserve. Most don't even deserve the first chance you gave them. So stop doubting yourself. Stop making excuses for people who've already shown you their true nature. Here's a little game I like to play. Call their bluff. Take away what they want from you and see what's left. If someone sticks around when they're not benefiting from you, when they're not using you, then maybe, just maybe, they're real. But 9 times out of 10, they'll vanish the second they can't take anymore. And when they do, don't chase them. Don't beg. Let them leave, because their departure is their confession. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're drowning in the middle of the ocean, gasping for air, struggling to stay afloat. You call out for help, and someone reaches out a hand. Relief washes over you. But just as you grab their hand, they pull you under, using you as a step to save themselves. That's how most people operate. They'll pretend to save you while using your pain as a platform for their own gain. And you let it happen. You convince yourself they're your savior, your friend, your family. But the truth is, they were never there for you. They were there for themselves. You want to know what I've learned about this world? Most people don't love you. They love what you can do for them. They don't see you. They see an opportunity. And the moment you stop giving, the moment you stop bending over backward to please them, they'll turn on you, like wolves circling their prey. And the worst part? They'll blame you for it. They'll make you feel guilty for putting yourself first, for finally saying no. Don't fall for it. Don't let their manipulation drag you back into the cycle. You've got to be stronger than that. You've got to stand your ground, even when it feels like the whole world is against you. Let me tell you about power, real power. It's not about money, control, or dominance. It's about freedom. The freedom to walk away from anyone and anything that no longer serves you. The freedom to choose yourself over and over again without apology. That's what scares them. That's why they try so hard to keep you in their web of lies and false promises. Because a person who knows their worth, a person who can walk away, that's unstoppable. You want to know who's really in your corner? Pay attention to who claps for you when you succeed. Pay attention to who's there when you've got nothing left to give. Those are your people. Not the ones who show up for the good times, but the ones who stick around during the bad. And trust me, that list, it's gonna be short. Painfully short. But that's okay. Because a small circle of real ones is worth more than a stadium full of fakes. And here's the kicker. You don't need anyone's permission to cut people off. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. If someone doesn't align with your vision, if they're not helping you grow, let them go. And if they call you cold, ruthless, selfish, good, wear it like a badge of honor. Because the people who truly care won't need explanations. They'll understand. I know it's lonely. Cutting people off, walking away, standing on your own, it's lonely as hell. But let me tell you something about loneliness. It's better to be alone in truth than surrounded by lies. It's better to stand alone in your power than kneel in the shadow of someone else's manipulation. And when you embrace that, when you learn to find strength in your solitude, no one can touch you. Because here's the thing about darkness. It's where you find yourself. It's where you strip away the lies, the illusions, the masks, and see who you really are. And once you know yourself, once you accept yourself, the world's games don't matter anymore. Trust what you see, not what you hear. Watch their actions, not their words. And when they show you their true colors, believe them the first time. Don't wait for a second betrayal. Don't give them the chance to break you again. Because in this world, it's not the kind-hearted who survive. It's the ones who see the truth, who guard their hearts, who trust their instincts. Be one of them. Be the one who knows their worth. Be the one who can walk away. And when you do, you'll see the world for what it really is. A stage full of masks, but none of them matter. Because the only truth that matters is the one you carry within. You think you've got time to waste on the wrong people? You don't. Time is the one thing you can't get back. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how many apologies you hear, or how many promises they break. Every second you spend on someone who doesn't value you is a second you've lost forever. And let me tell you something. Those seconds, they add up. One day, you'll wake up and realize you've spent years on people who never deserved a moment. But here's the kicker. It's not just your time they're stealing. It's your energy, your peace, your confidence. Every lie they tell, every betrayal, every time they let you down, it chips away at you. Little by little, they're tearing pieces out of you until there's nothing left but a hollow shell. And the worst part? You let them. You let them because you're too scared to be alone. Oh, I know all about that fear. The fear of being alone, of having no one to turn to. It's what keeps you clinging to people who've already shown you their true colors. It's what makes you stay when you should leave. Forgive when you should walk away. But let me tell you something. Loneliness isn't the enemy. The enemy is the fake company you keep to avoid it. You've got to stop running from solitude. Start embracing it. Because when you're alone, truly alone, you learn who you are. You figure out what you want, what you need, what you'll no longer tolerate. And that knowledge, that's power. That's the kind of power that scares people. Because a person who's comfortable being alone can't be manipulated. They can't be controlled. They don't need anyone else to complete them. I know what you're thinking. What if I make the wrong choice? What if I let the wrong person go? But let me ask you this. What's the cost of keeping them? How many more nights will you spend wondering if they really care? How many more chances will you give them to prove what you already know in your gut? You think you're sparing yourself pain by holding on, but all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. People don't change because you love them. They change because they choose to. And if someone hasn't chosen to change by now, they're not going to. Not for you, not for anyone. So stop waiting for the apology you'll never get. Stop hoping for the miracle that isn't coming. Let them go. Not for them, but for you. You've heard the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But what about the third time? The fourth? How many times are you gonna let someone make a fool out of you before you finally get it? Before you finally say, enough is enough? Because here's the thing. Every time you forgive someone who hasn't earned it, you're teaching them that their behavior is acceptable. You're teaching them that they can hurt you, betray you, abandon you, and you'll still be there waiting with open arms. And that's not kindness. That's self-destruction. You're not a doormat. You're not a punching bag. You're not some project for broken people to fix themselves on. You're a human being with value, with worth. And if someone doesn't see that, if someone doesn't treat you like the treasure you are, then they don't deserve you. Period. And don't give me that, but I love them nonsense. Love isn't a prison. Love doesn't make you weak. If someone truly loves you, they'll show it through their actions, not just their words. They'll fight for you, not against you. They'll lift you up, not drag you down. And if they're not doing that, then it's not love. It's manipulation. It's control. And you deserve better. You're stronger than you think. You've survived things that would have broken most people. You've faced betrayal, heartbreak, disappointment, and you're still here, still standing. That's not weakness. That's resilience. That's strength. And it's time you started acting like it. Stop letting people take advantage of you. Stop giving to those who only know how to take. Stop sacrificing your happiness for someone who wouldn't do the same for you. You owe it to yourself to be ruthless. Not cruel, not cold, but ruthless in protecting your peace, your energy, your life. You've got a choice to make. Keep living for others. Keep sacrificing yourself on the altar of their lies, or start living for yourself. Start putting yourself first. Start trusting what you see, not what you hear. 'Cause actions reveal true colors, and those colors, they never lie. So what's it gonna be? Keep drowning in their illusions, or rise above it all? The answer's simple, but the choice, that's yours. And whatever you decide, just remember one thing. Trust is earned, not given. And once it's broken, it's gone forever.